close your eyes for a moment and imagine a small bowl on a wooden counter, warm steam rising, the soft sigh of rinsed rice, tiny pearls of water catching light. That simple bowl becomes a slow ritual, one that promises calmer, more manageable hair and a quiet minute for yourself. Tonight, we make it together.
Welcome to Earthy Remedy, your space for natural remedies, real food, and everyday wellness. I'm Fiona Thompson, co-host and nutritionist. Together with Sumnang, we explore how the healing power of nature and evidence-based knowledge can help you feel better in simple, sustainable ways.
And I'm Samnang Bradley, host and wellness guide. On this episode, we're talking about rice water and how a humble kitchen rinse can help with hair manageability, shine, and a soothing scalp routine. We'll honor tradition, look at the science, and walk you slowly through two pantry-friendly preparations, a clarified rice water rinse for immediate use and a mild fermented scalp spray you can make safely at home. The full recipe will be in the show notes. This is an educational episode. We'll explain what rice water can reasonably do, what it won't fix, and give clear safety steps. Let's begin with why many of us reach for a rinse like this in the first place.
Picture this. You come back from a week of travel or a few late nights, your hair feels flat at the roots, a little tangled at the ends, and brushing seems like a small chore. You want something simple, fast, and gentle from your kitchen that helps hair feel smoother and more cooperative. That's the story I hear a lot.
What's happening biologically is not dramatic. Often it's a mix of surface oils, product buildup, and hair cuticle alignment. Rice water contains water-soluble starches and small proteins that can temporarily smooth the hair surface, making strands feel more manageable and appear shinier. Nutritionally speaking, this is a topical cosmetic effect rather than a cure for hair loss or deep structural problems.
So we feel heard. You're not imagining it when hair feels stubborn, and you want practical, low-cost options. This is about everyday care, not ambitious promises. Now, let's travel a little into how this practice has shown up across cultures.
Rice rinses appear in many traditions. In some East and Southeast Asian communities, rinsing hair with water used for washing rice was a household habit, passed down from bathing rituals and simple resourcefulness. From a chemistry angle, rice water carries starches, trace proteins, and minerals into the rinse. Studies and user reports suggest improved combability and surface smoothness. The evidence is modest but consistent for cosmetic effects, less so for claims like reversing thinning or regrowing hair. Here's what's important to understand. Rice-derived starches can create a temporary film on the hair shaft. That film smooths cuticle edges, reduces friction, and can make hair detangle easier after washing. It can also change hair texture slightly, sometimes reducing frizz, but it won't change hair thickness or alter genetics. The bottom line is, rice water is a supportive ritual, not a medical treatment. And there are practical myths to set aside. You don't need fancy, long ferments to see a difference. Many people use a clarified rice rinse made in minutes with lovely results. On the other hand, fermentation, done carefully, can add mild acidity and beneficial microbes that some folks find helpful for scalp comfort. We'll show both methods, one for tonight, one for gentle ongoing use. Before we start the recipes, two quick cautions. First, if you have active scalp infection, open wounds, or significant hair loss, see a professional. Second, always do a small patch test behind the ear or on the inner forearm before full scalp use. Stop if you notice irritation. We'll repeat these safety notes during the step-by-step. All right, let's make the clarified rice water rinse, and then I'll guide you through an optional low-strength fermented scalp spray for ongoing scalp comfort. We'll read the ingredients slowly. Feel free to write them down or follow along. Full measurements and a printable recipe are in the show notes. Ingredient list for clarified rice water rinse. I'll read each slowly
and note the reason. 1 cup, 240 milliliters, potable water. 1/3 cup, about 60 grams, uncooked white or brown rice, food grade, rinsed well. 1/2 teaspoon apple cider vinegar, optional, to gently lower pH and help clarify. Optional, 1 teaspoon raw honey or 5 drops of essential oil like lavender if you tolerate it. Those are for scent and a touch of soothing. The starch is the main player. The vinegar is optional for scalp balance. Equipment: a small bowl, a fine sieve or cheesecloth, a measuring cup, a spoon, and a clean bottle or mug to hold the rinse. Step by step for clarified rice water rinse. I'll number each step and pause briefly so you can follow along. Step 1. Place 1/3 cup of rinsed rice in your small bowl. Cover with 1 cup of water. Gently swirl with your fingers for about 20 seconds. You'll see the water turn slightly cloudy. That's the starch releasing. Step 2. Let the rice sit in the water for 10 minutes at room temperature. During that time, you can breathe deeply and notice the faint aroma. It's simple and comforting. This is not a strong ferment. It's a clarifying soak. Step 3. Strain the water through a fine sieve or cheesecloth into a clean container. Gently press out the last watery bit. Don't over-squeeze the rice. The liquid you collect is your clarified rice water. If it looks too cloudy or has an off smell, discard and start again. Trust your senses. Step 4. If you like, stir in 1/2 teaspoon apple cider vinegar for a gentle pH balance. This can help hair cuticle lie flatter. If you have a sensitivity to vinegar, skip it. Add the teaspoon of honey now, only if you'll be rinsing hair with warm water afterwards. Honey can be sticky if left without a proper rinse. Step 5. After shampooing and rinsing your hair, pour the rice water slowly over your hair, massaging the mid-lengths and ends. Avoid aggressive rubbing on the scalp if your skin is sensitive. Let it sit for 1 to 3 minutes, long enough for the starches to coat the hair, not so long that you feel residue. Then rinse lightly with cool to lukewarm water. Step 6. Towel dry gently, comb with a wide-tooth comb, and style as usual. Notice how strands move through your fingers. Often it feels smoother and easier to detangle. Use this rinse once or twice a week to start and see how your hair responds. Optional, mild fermented scalp spray. Ingredient list: 1 cup, 240 milliliters, filtered water. 1/4 cup, 60 milliliters, clarified rice water from the recipe above. 1 tablespoon raw apple cider vinegar with the mother, or 1 tablespoon cooled green tea for gentler acidity. 1/4 teaspoon sea salt, optional, to support scalp comfort. You'll also need a clean glass jar and a spray bottle. This is a low-strength ferment intended to add mild acidity and a soothing feel. Follow the safety steps closely. Fermented spray steps. Step 1. Combine the ingredients in a clean jar and cover loosely with a cloth or lid not tightened fully. Step 2. Leave at room temperature for 12 to 24 hours. Check every 6 to 8 hours. You're looking for a gentle, slightly tangy aroma and no sharp or rotten smells. If anything smells unpleasant, discard. Step 3. Once the scent is mildly acidic and pleasant, strain if needed and transfer to a spray bottle, then refrigerate. Use within 5 to 7 days and always smell before use. Storage and variations. Clarified rice water keeps in the fridge for up to 48 hours.
The fermented spray should be refrigerated and used within 1 week. For oily scalps, dilute the rinse more. Use 1 part rice water to 3 parts plain water. For dry hair, add a touch of coconut milk or a small splash of leave-in conditioner after rinsing. If you can't find rice you trust, try a barley or oat water rinse. Oats provide soothing beta-glucans, and barley offers similar starches. Safety and when to avoid. If you have a compromised immune system, open scalp wounds, or a diagnosed scalp infection like ringworm or bacterial infection, avoid topical DIY ferments and see a clinician. Always do a patch test for allergies, especially if you add essential oils. On sourcing, use food-grade rice and potable water. Rinse your rice well to reduce any surface residues. If you have concerns about trace contaminants in your water or rice, use bottled water and well-sourced rice, or choose an alternative grain rinse. Let's take a small sensory moment. If you have your finished rinse or spray nearby, hold the bottle in your hands. Notice its temperature, the weight of it. Bring it close. Inhale gently. Is there a soft, familiar scent? This is a tiny ritual of care. You don't need perfection, just the intention to slow down for a minute. Quick recap. Rice water can help with combability and surface smoothness because of starches and small proteins. Use clarified rice water for a simple rinse and an optional mild fermented spray for scalp comfort following conservative fermentation timing and refrigeration. Patch test first, avoid use with active infections, and keep expectations realistic. This is cosmetic support, not medical treatment. We'd love to hear how this turned out for you. Did you try the clarified rinse or the fermented spray? How did it feel? Send us a voice message or DM us at @EarthyRemedyPod. Share your version, any twists, or questions. Your feedback helps us refine these rituals for everyone. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to Earthy Remedy so you don't miss future recipes and gentle rituals. The full written recipe, ingredient sourcing tips, and a printable recipe card are in the show notes. We're glad you joined us. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Earthy Remedy. We hope you leave with at least one simple, natural idea to try, whether it's a rice water rinse, a small self-care pause, or a new way to notice your hair. Until next time, listen to your body, trust the earth, feel the difference.